welcome back to another episode. So today we're actually not doing forward driving, I'm not working on that car, working on another car. So a young fella has basically come to me and looking to do a conversion on a Jumbuck. So we're converting it for him because obviously I know what I've done this in the past. We're doing a lot to this. We're putting this motor in and that dash and the looms. So there's a bit of a conversion going on here. So I'm going to film some of this, and for people who might be interested in the future, you can kind of see the process that's involved. So he's keeping it front wheel drive, which means we have to change the flywheel to a best flywheel would be the GTI flywheel, because it doesn't have the stepped. See, with the GSR flywheel, it's got this step here, but with the GTI flywheel, it's just flat, which means you can then run the front wheel drive box. You can't use the all-wheel drive box. So unless you're willing to run the all-wheel drive box, which means you're going to change the K-frame, cross member, all that stuff, then you're going to lock the box to front wheel drive. If you don't know how to do that, it's a process. You've got to learn how to do it all. So it's not complicated, it's just time consuming. So we're ripping, all this will be coming out, and all of that will be coming out. Then we'll have to do the patch looms to make it compatible with the Mitsubishi stuff, because obviously nothing's plug and play in these cars. So yeah, I'm going to start doing some stuff, and then yeah, I'll keep it going as we go. So basically I'm going to start pulling the aircon stuff out, because it seems like it's got no gas in it anyway. I've checked it already. We're going to retain the original radiator, obviously because then I don't have to set it up. If you want to go a bigger radiator, you then have to weld in an extra mount down there so you can put the big radiator in, or the Mitsubishi radiator. But this will work just fine. So we're going to keep all this. Obviously all this is going to get yanked out. Everything, the whole engine bay will be completely gutted. Then I'll have to start making my way inside, pull the dash. I'll have to pull a airbox to get to the harnesses for the ECU and all that. And then obviously all the way across the cabin anyway, it's all going to have to be gutted to get all the ECUs, all the wiring across the dash and all that anyway. So, but yeah, the easiest way to do this really would be to get the harness from the ECU out. But to do that, you need to have all the dash out already, so I'm doing it the other way. So we're just going to disconnect all this stuff, put it to the side. We'll then yank the motor, and then start disconnecting all the other stuff that goes with it. So it's if you've done this before, you'd have this out within a couple of, well, within 2 hours really. If you've never really done it before, just take your time to learn what you need to pull out, what you need to disconnect, and you'll still have it out within a couple of hours. They're not complicated engines to get out really. Yeah, you just take your time, remember what's going where, take photos, write stuff down if you have to, but these are really simple. So yeah, and obviously make sure before you do this you do get your aircon degassed. You should not let it off into the environment. It is bad, apparently. So basically, if you were not planning on running aircon like I did in mine, this whole harness is not needed. And same as the aircon lines, you can pretty much just yank the whole lot out, the condenser. So yeah, your condenser, your little canister, all your lines, just rip it all out, you don't need it. If you want to run aircons, then you will have to change it, but you'll have to change it to whatever you're planning on running, because all the lines could be different. Most of this is the same from this side, but where it goes into the actual evap core will have different fittings. This may have different fittings. Down here will have different fittings, and the actual condenser, all that. It's all going to be different. So you need to have run the same as what it originally come from. Or if you're making a bit of a bit, so you need to make it work. So you can get lines changed, you can do all that, but best way to do it is get it from the same cut. I don't know if you can see on this camera the gap in there. You can probably see it. So I'll do it on this camera. So upside down, but quite a large gap. So it's quite a large gap in there. So obviously that's, so because he's running an oil, we've got an external oil cooler, which is size of a 2 litre bottle. You can kind of see it there. That actually makes a good spot for it to sit. So we can actually make a decent bracket and put it in this whole area. Yeah, be a lot better for him. And then realistically we could use the old fan, which is that one down there, and hook that up so it comes on at the same time as the aircon, as the other thermo fan, which will help also pull air in and help cool that, cool the oil down a bit better. But that's only if we needed to worry about that. But realistically, you don't, unless you're building proper air ducts. If you build a proper air duct to it, for high powered stuff, if you're doing a lot of track work, then yeah, that's when you'd look at doing the thermo fan on the radio, on the cooler itself. But for now, it's not needed. So pulled the radiator out. I found the radiator had issues. I've spoken with the chap. We're going to be putting the radiator from the donor that he's bought all the stuff from, which requires me to remove, let me get my camera. So I need to move this bracket down to about here. So I need to get another bracket or just drill this one out and weld it in down here. So when the radiator's in, it all works perfectly. Easy to do while all the motor and that's out. So that's the new thing we're doing. It's not hard, it's just, it's a lot easier when there's nothing in the way. So we're going down that road. And then I have not found one 1.5 litre that does not have a cracked manifold. So if you ever buy one of these, get this checked. So pretty much all your harness is disconnected. They're just all clips and spring clips. Fuel lines are off. And the good thing about the Jumbuck is, so on a normal Mitsi, you've got your line that comes in, and then it comes out of the fuel reg, and then it comes back and goes back down the same way. Well, Jumbuck, it's on this side, so it's really easy, makes it look cleaner. Yeah, you just gotta hook it up. It's pretty simple. So pretty much, once you've disconnected all the engine stuff, you just gotta disconnect some stuff down here, the linkages, then you're pretty much ready. And obviously the CVs, you're ready to pretty much drop it out. So I'm probably not going to drop it out today. I'm just tinkering away. But yeah, like I said, you can have this dropped in a matter of hours. I'm just going slow. So yeah, I don't think there's anything really complicated you need to know. Obviously for the exhaust too, if it's been unmodified, there's going to be lots of extra brackets that you have to disassemble to get the exhaust to drop. they can be quite challenging to get to, because these are what now, this is what, 07, so this is, you know, 18 years old roughly, so some of them are going to be really hard to undo. Just, yeah, take time to do it. It's all you can really do. So, but it's still simple to do. So, yeah, I'm just gonna keep tinkering along, see how far we get. All right, so I kind of missed some stuff. So, motor is out. I have started stripping the looms, taking the fender off to make it easier access, because on the Jumbuck it only goes down this way and then obviously through to the light over there, but on the GSRs and Evos and that it does go through the firewall on that side. So if you are doing this sort of conversion and you're doing a full loom swap, because there is no hole here, if you can see this, well, I might put that here because there's no actual hole here. There is wiring that comes down. You'll either need to run it through the door grommet, or if you can get it to come back, you can go through that grommet there, which runs into the same spot. I can't remember exactly what it's for, but I'm pretty sure you do need to run that part of the harness. So we're going to clean it all up. So like I said the other day, this mount here needs to be moved across to roughly about here. We'll be starting to do that soon. I'm just, yeah, cleaning up, doing what it needs to do. So the bumpers are off as well. So to undo the bumpers, if you've never done one before, basically all your clips. There's one there, which this one's obviously broken. You got a clip there, and you got 2 screws, 2 bolts on each side, and then obviously whatever's underneath, which are these 2 holes here. So you got that hole there and then one back there, but they go up through there and through there. So if you're ever wondering about that, obviously we have to make the intercooler fit. I need to then cut away some of this to run the pipe around. I need to trim some of this up so the pipe can come around. Yeah, and possibly trim these lower mounts a little bit. But yeah, so I'm pretty much finished engine bay wise in here. What I will do is I'll try and film some of this, how to strip out these doors, these dashes. Pretty simple, but I might try and do a time lapse or something on that for you. So far making some good progress. I do have some parts that have arrived for the motor. So I've got a new CAS plug, rear main seal, which may as well do it because it's the only time to do it. I have a flywheel on the way. So like I'm pretty sure I said, if you're converting to front wheel drive, you need the front wheel drive flywheel, unless you're running an all-wheel drive box locked to all-wheel drive, to front wheel drive. What else have I got? I'm still trying to find this plug, but I'm hoping the plug off that motor will fit onto this one, and I can just use, so the thermostats are the same, so then I can just use the plug off that motor. Still need to get the hoses sorted. What else have I got? Yeah, I think that's it. So I've got a new fuel pump coming as well. We're putting a Walbro 255 in for him. So for any future mods, it's more than capable. I would upgrade the fuel rig myself, but obviously he's still trying to keep it to somewhat of a budget, so that's going to be a future mod. Yeah, I think that's it. I'll keep you posted.